carving your own path, or working within the parameters of any given situation. Carving your own path or working in the parameters of any given situation. Don't know what I'm going to label this video, because I definitely want it to be shorter than that, but that's the topic of today's discussion. My name's Ayin, and we're going to talk about the difference between the two. I understand, I get it, because I am that person that wants to carve your own path. And I understand of having to work in the parameters of any given situation. So just wanted to take time out just to explain this a little bit. In carving your own path or going your own direction or trying to think outside of the box, do things on your own accord, you do understand that there's a process in order for you to do this. Even for you thinking outside of the box or just going on your own way, there's a process like it is with anything. There's steps. I don't know how many times I've said on this channel before that you have to do your research on any given thing before you make moves. But what I've experienced or witnessed, I've seen where some people think that doing your own thing is like working outside of the rules. You can just make it up as you go, and they think that this can apply to anything, and it doesn't. Let me explain. I don't know how many times working at an organization or whatever it is, past employment. People have the attitude, the customer's always right. And with this, they think that it's basically I can do what I want. And I don't know how many times I've had to explain where a person is like, well, it's my right, it's my prerogative, I can do X, Y, Z. Right? Because, the customer is right. I have the say-so in this situation. And it's like, yeah, you do have a say-so. Everybody has a say-so. Just like I've said on this channel many times before. No matter how small your power may seem, you do have a degree of control in any given situation. But you have to also understand this goes with other people as well. This goes with other individuals. I don't know how many times when explaining like perhaps policy and procedure or trying to get something done, yet you're thinking outside of the box and you're trying to help an individual. And they're like, well, I don't want it that way. I want it this particular way. And you have to let them know, this is not even on the table. Because this is both bigger than you and I. Well, can't you look into it? I want to see about doing it X, Y, Z. And it's like, no, because that option is not even on the table. This is not something that the organization that I represent, whatever it may be that I've done up off in the past, this is not something that they do. This is not productive for the company, for what we're doing. It's just outside of the box. If you want to carve and do your own path, do it up on your own. And a lot of the times the blowback that you would get is, I thought it was about me. I thought it was about on how I wanted to do it. It was like, you can go do it somewhere else. You can go explore your options elsewhere. And the same things work with, I think the same thing applies to your goals and things that you're seeking up off in life. You have some people that think that they can just, bounce along and do as they please and, pursuing their goals and think that they will overstep or overlook certain steps that they need to take in order to get things done. There's nothing wrong in carving your own path, but you need to know how to get there. And that's the point that I'm making. And that's the analogy that I'm drawing between the customer's always right. I'm going to do it my way. And it's like, yeah, you have the right to do it your way. But you're going to have to find a way that works. I'm not telling you can't do it. I'm just telling you can't do it here. So when those doors are closed or opportunities may not be readily available like how you think that they should be, you have to go find your opportunities. That's how you carve your own path. is not to stomp your feet and whine on and keep whining about it until you think that a person will fold, because it's frustrating for both you and them. So to go back to the beginning of this video with carving your own path and operating within the parameters of any given situation, look on whatever it is that you may want to do, whatever it is that you may achieve, how unorthodox it may be, all of that's irrelevant. You have to think about the appropriate ways to get there and what will get you closer to your goal. Those are how inventions are made. 9 times out of 10, when an invention is thought of, it's because they didn't see any option on the table. So they had to make an option. What works for you? What I found is, and this applies to people who, excuse me, they always have these bright ideas, but then it's always someone else's fault on why they can't execute. Oh, I could just get it up off the, if such and such would just step up, or if I could get this done, if they're always pointing the finger, and they always got these bright ideas, but always fail to execute. The problem is you. The problem's not other people. The thing is, you're not even operating in the parameters of you, thus making it difficult for you to carve your own path. It seems impossible. Another thing that I think of, one time we were taking a trip, and we were going, I think it was Branson. But anyways, I remember riding through these highway areas, and you could see the way like the roads were carved through the mountains. It was just like beautiful. And the thing that I thought about was like, man, you know, whether some of this is naturally done or this was man-made, it was like, man, this took a lot of work. Somebody really had to, you know, lay into this to see their vision through on how, you know, putting these roads through here. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not a geologist, but it made me think about how, you know, they didn't just settle. They didn't just go and start trying to lay road on top of rock and just, you know, hey, I'm going to, no matter, this is a 90-degree angle on this incline, but I'm going to go ahead and try to lay this road anyway. Or they weren't sitting up there with just a pickaxe. They realized, hey, we need a team to tackle this. It's more than just my thinking of doing this. We need engineers. We need a way so that this can reasonably be accomplished. And that's the reason why it looks like somebody just sliced and carved right through those mountains, which is just, it's just awesome. It's the same thing when you see resorts that are set up in places. They don't just go in and just build on top of the land. That stuff has to be cleared out, and it has to be made to accommodate their needs. There's some leveling and stuff that takes place. They don't go in there and just start putting houses on top of trees. Well, look, we got a 3-foot clearance here. I guess we can have this as an open portion of the house, start and begin the house here. No, they clear trees or do whatever it is that they need to do. They don't just start working on top of what's there. That's a part of carving your own path. I just wanted to take time out to discuss this because all too often I think people make a disconnect, and then they get frustrated with how things pan out, and they don't understand on why things are what they are. It's my 2 cents on it. Set your goals, lay a path to your goals. Set up some short-term goals in there too, so you can encourage yourself while you're moving along to your long-term goals. Carve your path. Know how to work in the parameters of any given situation, which you have parameters. It may be even you. Your limitations. Know when you need help. Know when you need to reach out. I'm not saying that you can't do anything that you put your mind to, but you got to know the proper processes in order for you to do what you need to do. Know your shortcomings. Know your strengths, your weaknesses. If you can't overcome your weaknesses, at least you'll know what to avoid so you don't fall prey to them. That's what we're talking about. Even if that's giving up on yourself. You got to ask yourself, why is it that I fall through? What makes me set out on this journey, lay all into it, and then I just seek to reach the finish line? I falter. Am I getting distracted? What is it? Carve your own path. Work within the parameters of you. I'm Ayn. Stay encouraged. Avoid being discouraged. You have a good one.